You know that feeling when something that once felt natural, comforting, even exhilarating, like the simple act of self-touch, suddenly starts to feel off, rushed, a little frustrating, maybe even strangely disconnected, like you're going through the motions without really feeling them anymore. If that hits home, trust me, you're far from alone, especially after 60. Before we dive deep, if you find yourself nodding along, do us both a favor, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It's the best way to make sure you never miss these straight-talking health insights crafted specifically for guys like us navigating these years. And hey, if this video resonates, drop a 1 in the comments. If something misses the mark, let me know with a 0. Your feedback is gold, helping me create content that truly serves you. All right, let's get into it. I'm Dr. David Lee. I've been a board-certified urologist specializing in men's health for over 6 decades now. That's a lifetime of conversations, consultations, and research dedicated to helping men like you hold onto that vital spark, the confidence, the intimacy, the sheer aliveness, well into your later years. And you know what genuinely surprises me, even after all this time? How many incredibly smart, capable men over 60 are quietly sabotaging their own sexual well-being by clinging to habits that stopped serving them years ago. 7 specific mistakes, repeated unknowingly, rooted in ideas from a different era, now silently chipping away at pleasure, sensitivity, and that deep sense of connection with themselves. These aren't huge, dramatic errors. They're subtle things, routines formed decades back when your body responded differently. Back then, they worked. Now, they can leave you feeling like something's missing, like the volume's been turned down on your own experience. The good news? They're fixable. In this conversation, we'll unpack each one clearly. You'll discover practical ways to restore that lost sensitivity, amplify pleasure, and truly reconnect with your body in ways that honor where you are now. And stick around because mistake number 4 is the one almost every single guy overlooks. Yet, addressing it could be the very key to unlocking a level of satisfaction you might have thought was gone for good. Seriously, this one often flips the script. So, let's start with one of the most pervasive and frankly misleading beliefs still doing the rounds, probably something you've encountered or even tried yourself without a second thought. Mistake 1, buying into the semen retention myth. Hook, line, and sinker. It's incredibly common. Older men convinced that holding back ejaculation, sometimes for weeks or months, is a secret reservoir of power. They believe it boosts flagging energy, sharpens mental focus like a laser, or even magically pumps up testosterone levels. This idea often springs from a tangled mix of ancient philosophies, locker room whispers, and a hefty dose of modern internet pseudoscience. Sure, research like a small 2003 study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior observed short-term hormonal fluctuations after brief abstinence. But let's be real. The full picture is vastly more complex, and frankly, more human, than those simplistic myths suggest. Your body, this incredible biological system, is fundamentally designed for release. It's a natural pressure valve. When you deliberately suppress that essential function for extended periods, it's not building some mystical energy reserve. It's causing internal congestion. Think discomfort, a persistent, low-grade ache in the pelvic area, unexplained mood swings swinging between irritability and low mood, and crucially, emerging research suggests potential links to increased prostate health concerns. For men navigating their 60s and beyond, these aren't just minor annoyances. They can genuinely impact your overall sense of well-being. The medical consensus, backed by numerous studies including longitudinal research on aging men, is clear. Healthy, moderate ejaculation is beneficial. It acts like a natural regulator for hormone balance, actively supports prostate health by flushing out old fluids, reduces physical and emotional tension remarkably effectively, and can even pave the way for deeper, more restorative sleep. Clinging to the idea that withholding release equals strength or control often leads straight to frustration, heightened irritability, and a growing disconnect from what your body is actually signaling it needs. Masturbation isn't about exerting rigid control. It's about tuning into your body's unique rhythm, respecting its cues, and finding a comfortable, balanced cadence. Think of it less as indulgence and more as essential self-maintenance, like stretching stiff muscles or taking deep, calming breaths. Approached with mindfulness, it can be grounding, centering, and a powerful way to feel genuinely connected to yourself. But if you're still holding on to that belief that control equals virility, it's worth asking, what other ingrained habits, formed in a different biological era, might be quietly limiting your capacity for pleasure right now? The next mistake is so subtle, most men repeat it on autopilot without a clue. Mistake 2. Stuck on repeat, using the exact same grip and technique every single time. Hey, we get it. Routine feels safe, familiar. Especially with something as personal as self-touch, habits formed over decades feel like well-worn paths. The problem? When that path becomes the only path. Using precisely the same grip pressure, the same motion, the same rhythm every single session might feel efficient, but it's quietly working against you. For many older men, sticking rigidly to the tried and true method learned decades ago leads directly to a noticeable loss of sensitivity over time. Worse, it can subtly interfere with your ability to enjoy partnered intimacy, making it harder to respond to different kinds of touch. Here's the biology. Your nervous system is adaptable, it's designed to learn. If it receives only one very specific type of stimulation, repeatedly, it literally gets conditioned to respond primarily to that pattern. It's like only ever eating one flavor. Eventually, your taste buds get dulled to it. Over months and years, this predictable routine can make it harder to feel nuanced pleasure, take longer to climax, or leave you feeling mentally checked out during the act. You might feel frustrated, disconnected, maybe even questioning your vitality, when the real issue is simply sensory monotony. The solution: embrace a little variety. It doesn't require a radical overhaul, just gentle experimentation. Switch hands. It feels surprisingly different. Vary your grip pressure, sometimes firm, sometimes feather-light. Alter the rhythm, slow it right down, then speed up, then slow again. Try different motions, up/down, circles, side to side. Explore other areas briefly before focusing. You're not abandoning what works. You're expanding your sensory vocabulary. It's about keeping your nerve endings curious and your mind engaged in the present moment. Think of it like physical exercise. Muscles grow stronger when challenged with new movements. Your capacity for pleasure grows richer when you invite new sensations. This isn't novelty for novelty's sake. It's about staying in sync with your body's evolving needs and giving yourself permission to explore them. You absolutely deserve a pleasure experience that evolves with you, not one that fades because it's stuck in the past. But even if you start mixing things up, there's another incredibly common habit, often rooted in decades of necessity, that can drain the joy right out of the experience. You might not even realize how deeply ingrained it is. Mistake 3. The rush job, treating self-pleasure like a race to the finish line. Let's be honest, many of us learned to masturbate quickly. Privacy was scarce, time was limited, or it just became an ingrained habit: get in, get out, get on with the day. Decades later, that hurried approach can become your default setting. And that's where the real problem starts. Rushing through turns what could be a deeply connecting, pleasurable experience into something mechanical, almost transactional. It becomes solely about release, completely bypassing the journey of enjoyment. For men over 60, this habit is a thief. It robs you of the deeper, more resonant, more fulfilling sensations your body is still perfectly capable of experiencing. When you hurry, your body doesn't get the crucial time it needs to build arousal gradually and naturally. Your mind jumps ahead to the end goal, disconnecting from the sensations happening right now. You're racing towards the climax, barely noticing the subtle warmth, the building tension, the pleasurable feedback loops along the way. Over time, this constant rushing can actually desensitize you. The payoff feels less intense, less satisfying. What was once a source of stress relief or connection can start to feel hollow, maybe even leaving you feeling a bit emotionally flat afterward. It becomes a task, not a treat. Slowing down, however, changes everything. It allows space for your body to truly awaken. It invites your nervous system to fully engage with each touch. It lets your mind settle into the present moment, reconnecting you with the actual physical sensations unfolding. Simple practices make a huge difference. Taking deep, slow breaths before and during, focusing on the quality of touch. How does this pressure feel right now? Consciously reducing the pace, drawing out the buildup. Treating this time as meaningful self-care, rather than a quick chore, transforms it. It becomes nourishing, grounding, even powerful. It's not about artificially extending the time for the sake of endurance. It's about rediscovering the rich landscape of sensation you've been speeding past for years. You rediscover that pleasure isn't just a destination, climax, but the entire journey, presence, rhythm, curiosity. But even if you master the art of slowing down, you're still only tapping into a fraction of your potential if you're laser-focused on one specific area. The next mistake is a huge missed opportunity, one most men completely overlook. Mistake 4: tunnel vision, ignoring the vast pleasure map of your whole body. It's a common legacy from younger years, the belief that pleasure during masturbation lives only in the genitals. Everything else is just background noise. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding of how our bodies experience sensation. The truth is, you are covered in nerve endings. You possess a whole landscape of potential pleasure zones waiting to be explored. By limiting stimulation solely to the penis, you're missing out on an immense range of physical and emotional sensations that your mature body is still wonderfully equipped to deliver. Think beyond the obvious. Your inner thighs are incredibly sensitive. Gentle touch on your chest, nipples, or lower abdomen can send surprising ripples of pleasure. The nape of your neck, your ears, and crucially, the perineum, the area between the scrotum and anus, is packed with nerve endings and can be a powerful source of arousal when touched appropriately. These areas aren't just physically sensitive. Engaging them helps anchor you in your body, making you feel more present, more integrated, and more emotionally attuned during the entire experience. Gentle touch, light massage, exploring different temperatures, a warm washcloth, a cool touch. These aren't indulgences reserved for partnered sex or younger men. They are legitimate doorways to a richer, fuller, more complete experience of self-pleasure. Engaging your whole body helps break the monotony of routine and creates a multi-layered sensation that builds arousal more holistically. It's about honoring the beautiful complexity of your physical being and allowing yourself to experience it fully. You are not just a penis. You are a whole system of interconnected sensations, emotions, and awareness. When you stimulate more of the map, your overall sense of satisfaction and connection naturally deepens. It transforms self-touch from a localized act into a full-body conversation. However, even when you start exploring your whole body, the way you touch yourself makes a massive difference. And there's one incredibly simple, yet shockingly common, oversight that directly reduces comfort and sensitivity. Something so basic, yet so frequently skipped. Mistake 5: going it dry, skipping lubrication out of habit or misconception. As men age, natural physiological changes occur. Skin naturally becomes thinner and less oily. Sensitivity can shift. What felt perfectly fine with dry friction decades ago can now feel uncomfortable, even irritating. Yet, countless older men persist in masturbating without lubrication. Why? Often it's sheer habit, I never needed it before, or a belief that it's messy, unnecessary, or somehow less manly. The reality? Avoiding lube can significantly undermine your comfort and actively work against your pleasure. Without lubrication, friction increases dramatically. This isn't just uncomfortable in the moment. It can lead to micro-tears in the delicate penile skin, causing irritation, redness, and over time, contributing to a gradual reduction in sensitivity. Using a high-quality, body-safe water-based or silicone-based lubricant, avoid anything with irritating chemicals or glycerin, can utterly transform the experience. It allows for smooth, effortless gliding, mimicking the natural lubrication of partnered intimacy far more closely. It drastically reduces the risk of discomfort and chafing. Crucially, it can help awaken nerve endings that might have become somewhat dulled, allowing for more nuanced sensations to come through. It extends the duration and enhances the quality of your pleasure. For men who might experience some joint stiffness or reduced hand mobility, common as we age, lubrication reduces the physical effort required, making the entire process easier and significantly more enjoyable. Think of it this way. We use reading glasses to see clearly. We wear supportive shoes to walk comfortably. Lubrication is simply another smart, practical tool for self-care, specifically designed to support your body's changing needs during a natural act. It's not a sign of weakness or decline. It's an intelligent adaptation, a mark of wisdom. Embracing it removes a physical barrier, allowing you to feel more connected, more comfortable, and more in control of your sexual well-being. It's about working with your body, not against it. But even with the right tools and techniques, many men find a more powerful barrier holding them back. It's not physical, it's psychological, deeply rooted, and unless addressed, it can poison the well of pleasure. Mistake 6, the shadow of shame, carrying guilt about a natural act. For countless men over 60, the feelings surrounding masturbation were seeded long ago, often in childhood, adolescence, or young adulthood, steeped in environments where sex was a taboo subject, whispered about, and self-pleasure was shrouded in secrecy, guilt, or even fear. Messages like, "It's dirty," "It's sinful," or "Real men don't need that" can lodge deep in the psyche. Decades later, even when intellectually you know masturbation is normal and healthy, the medical community affirms this constantly. Those old, quiet whispers can still surface. You might feel a flicker of guilt afterward, a sense that you should be beyond this, or a compulsion to keep it rushed and hidden. This emotional baggage creates tension, not just during the act itself, but in your overall relationship with your body and your sexuality. Let's be unequivocally clear. There is absolutely nothing shameful about taking private time for self-exploration and pleasure. When approached with mindfulness, intention, and care, masturbation is a profoundly positive form of self-care. It can be a powerful emotional release, a potent stress reliever. Studies consistently show it lowers cortisol, a way to improve mood and combat anxiety, and for many, even a moment of quiet meditation or spiritual connection. It's an act of self-respect and self-knowledge, not self-indulgence. Research, including studies published in journals like the Journal of Sexual Medicine, links regular self-pleasure in older adults to tangible benefits. Better sleep quality, improved overall mood, reduced symptoms of anxiety and depression, and greater self-confidence. Yet, these benefits are significantly muted if guilt hangs over the experience like a dark cloud. Letting go of this ingrained shame is a process. It starts with consciously challenging those old beliefs. Where did they really come from? Are they based on fact or fear? Were they truly your own convictions, or imposed by others? When you begin to consciously reframe masturbation not as a secretive habit tinged with guilt, but as a natural, healthy, and valuable aspect of holistic self-care, akin to enjoying a relaxing bath, a good workout, or a nourishing meal, everything shifts. You deserve to feel peace, comfort, and yes, even pride in knowing you are tending to your own physical and emotional needs in a meaningful, respectful way. Granting yourself this emotional freedom is crucial. However, emotional freedom, while vital, is only part of the solution. There's one final, practical mistake many men make, often simply because they aren't aware of the possibilities. Ignoring it means missing out on tools specifically designed to enhance comfort and pleasure in your 60s and beyond. Mistake 7. Overlooking your toolkit, ignoring modern aids designed for your changing body. As we age, our bodies change. It's inevitable. Sensitivity might shift. Dexterity in hands and fingers might not be what it was. Hello? Arthritis or stiffness? Stamina and the time needed for arousal can evolve. Yet, despite these perfectly natural developments, many men stubbornly stick to the exact same manual approach they used in their 20s or 30s. Whether due to pride, "I shouldn't need help," discomfort with the idea, or simply not knowing what's out there, ignoring the wealth of modern tools created specifically for older men means missing out on significant enhancements to comfort, ease, and even pleasure intensity. The market now offers a wide array of thoughtfully designed products. Ultra-soft silicone sleeves that provide enveloping, friction-free stimulation with minimal effort, ergonomic vibrators or massagers shaped to be easy to hold, even with less grip strength. Gentle perineum massagers that target that nerve-rich area effectively. Specialized lubricants formulated for mature skin sensitivity. These aren't about replacing you or your masculinity. They are about enhancing your connection with your body and intelligently adapting to its current realities. Think of it pragmatically. You likely use reading glasses without a second thought. You might choose supportive shoes or ergonomic tools for hobbies. Using a well-designed sexual aid is simply another smart adaptation for self-care and enjoyment. The reality is your sexuality doesn't vanish with age. It evolves. Embracing tools crafted for your current life stage allows you to explore pleasure in ways that are often more satisfying, less physically demanding, and better aligned with your present needs. You might even discover entirely new dimensions of sensation, rekindling a sense of curiosity and vitality you thought was lost. It's about expanding your possibilities, not diminishing your capability. Bringing it all together. A new mindset for deeper connection. The most transformative shift you can make after 60 isn't just about changing techniques or buying gadgets, though those help. It's a fundamental shift in mindset, moving beyond seeing self-pleasure as a hurried habit, a guilty secret, or a performance metric. Instead, embrace it as an act of profound self-respect, a journey of curiosity, and a way to deeply honor the person you are today. When you consciously let go of the old myths, shed the weight of unnecessary shame, and move beyond outdated routines, you open the door to an experience that can be genuinely nourishing, restorative, and deeply connecting. By actively introducing variety, new touches, rhythms, pressures, slowing down to savor each sensation, exploring the incredible landscape of your whole body, and wisely utilizing tools designed for your comfort, you begin to experience pleasure in a way that is both richer in meaning and deeper in satisfaction. You move away from simply chasing a release towards actively creating a connection with yourself. Pairing these practical adjustments with the emotional shift, reframing self-touch as essential self-care, not indulgence, unlocks a part of yourself that may have been dormant. You regain a quiet confidence, a sense of vitality, and a powerful ownership over your own sexual well-being. Remember, this journey isn't just about sex. It's intrinsically linked to your overall health, your peace of mind, and maintaining a lifelong intimacy with the most important person in your life, yourself. A complete approach means recognizing your needs are valid, your desires are healthy, and this private time is as crucial to your well-being as exercise or nutrition. Conclusion: reclaiming what's rightfully yours, pleasure, confidence, self-respect reaching your 60s, 70s, or beyond isn't the closing chapter of your sexual identity. Far from it. It's an invitation, perhaps the most profound one yet, to redefine it. To approach it with the clarity, wisdom, and deep self-compassion that only comes with lived experience. Yes, aging brings changes, shifts in energy, in how quickly your body responds, in the subtle rhythms of sensation and emotion. But these changes are not a sentence, not a loss of your masculinity, your capacity for deep feeling, or your inherent right to experience pleasure and connection. In fact, when met with honesty, kindness, and a willingness to adapt, this stage of life can blossom into one of the richest, most deeply satisfying chapters you've ever lived. Masturbation after 60 is not juvenile. It's not something to rush through, feel embarrassed about, or ignore. It is, quite simply, an essential act of maintenance, a vital form of connection, a profound way to honor a body that has carried you faithfully through decades of triumphs, challenges, and everyday life. It is self-respect in action. We've walked through the 7 common silent saboteurs, clinging to the semen retention myth, stuck on repetitive technique autopilot, rushing through like it's a chore, ignoring the vast pleasure potential of your whole body, skipping the simple comfort of lubrication, carrying the heavy burden of outdated shame, overlooking the helpful tools designed for your current needs. These aren't trivial slip-ups. They're signposts pointing to ways of thinking and acting that no longer serve the man you are now. But now, you have the map, You've seen how small, intentional changes, slowing down that internal clock, exploring beyond the familiar, letting go of judgment, reaching for that bottle of lube or an ergonomic aid, can make a world of difference. This isn't about performing better. It's about feeling more. It's about reclaiming the authority over your own experience in a world that often tells older men to quietly recede. Let's be unequivocal. Your desire for connection, for intimacy, for the spark of pleasure, does not have an expiration date. It is not something to outgrow. It's something to grow with. Your body hasn't betrayed you. It's communicating, asking for a new level of awareness, a new kind of respect. When you meet that request with openness instead of resistance, you step into a version of manhood that is both mature and vibrantly empowered, rooted not in the bravado of youth, but in the quiet strength of self-knowledge and acceptance. Reclaiming your pleasure is intrinsically linked to reclaiming your confidence. So many men over 60 carry silent whispers of doubt about performance, about function, about worth. Hear this. Your worth is never tied to how quickly you climax or the rigidity of an erection. Your worth lies in your presence, your care, your willingness to listen to your body and respond with kindness. When you treat yourself with this dignity, you send a powerful message, not just internally, but out into the world. I am still here. I still matter. I still deserve to feel vibrantly alive. This sense of earned dignity ripples far beyond the bedroom. It shows up in how you carry yourself, in the depth of your relationships, in your mental clarity, and yes, even in the quality of your sleep. Men who approach self-pleasure with mindful presence often report unexpected benefits. Stress melting away, focus sharpening, mood lifting, sleep deepening, and yes, often a richer, more relaxed satisfaction within their partnered relationships too. Why? Because they've stopped hiding and rushing. They've integrated their sexuality seamlessly into the full, complex tapestry of who they are. That is the true essence of reclaiming self-respect. It's not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about living in authentic harmony with your body and your truth. It's about creating an inner sanctuary where shame has no power, where old myths hold no sway, and where your needs are recognized as valid, essential parts of your humanity, not indulgences. So here's your standing invitation. Start fresh. Gently challenge those outdated beliefs that whisper you're too old or that this doesn't matter. Give yourself unreserved permission to explore, to learn, to simply enjoy the sensations of being alive in your own skin. Invest in tools that support your comfort without a shred of guilt. Allow yourself to feel fully, deeply, without apology. Approach this private time not as a secret habit to conceal, but as a sacred practice of self-honoring. You've spent decades caring for others, meeting responsibilities, fulfilling expectations. Now, it's time to turn some of that profound care inward, not selfishly, but soulfully. Because when you treat yourself with this level of intention and respect, something remarkable happens. Everything around you begins to shift. Your confidence finds a firmer footing. Your energy feels more authentic. Your joy becomes more accessible. There is no finish line for sexual wellness. Your story continues and you hold the pen. Whether you're rediscovering sensations you thought were lost or exploring uncharted territories of your own pleasure, every mindful moment spent connecting with your body is a step toward a fuller, freer, more authentically yours life. Now go on, take that step. You've absolutely earned it. And if this conversation sparked something for you, helped you see things differently, do hit that subscribe button. Let's keep this dialogue going. Your journey matters, and there's more to explore together. Thanks for being here.